Uh, so I will be sharing a couple of thoughts with us that I feel that these are elements. If you are going to succeed, if you are going to thrive, if you are going to build something that makes something that will be sustainable and take you to the top, take you to places where you can create significance, and of course, have that fulfillment, that you came on, you lived life and you created impact, and you're going back to heaven like a proud son or daughter of God. It's like to say that, the life you and I have right now, the life you have right now, the oxygen you are breathing right now, the ears, the eyes, the nose, everything you have right now is good to you. And what you will do with this life from today, what you have been doing with this life is your own gift back to God, back to yourself, and society. And whether you are trying to start, whether you started already, whether you run a school, whether you run a health center, whether you're into agriculture, whether you're volunteering, whether you're using your phone to design graphics, whatever that you're doing, it is all relevant, and it all depends on what you do with that which you have decided to do to create a better life for yourself and for other people. To share with us about 4 or 5 elements, right? They send motivation, so I don't have a presentation. I'm just going to speak from my heart and what I feel that we should know, and also from experience, right? I have had the privilege, thousands, I could say millions, I don't know, but hundreds of thousands of young people across countries, 4 continents, several online sessions and sessions. So I know I myself, and I work with young people trying to build visions. I have seen the challenge. I've gone through the challenge. I have met young people going through challenges. I have seen that. I've seen those who are lost and those who are found, right? So it's a chaotic, but the good news is that we can make it if you decide to make it. If you whether you're in a village or in a semi-urban area, you are in a big city, you can decide to make it, and of course produce that incredible success. So the first element that they're not any other, but I want you to put yourself in how you can implement these elements. And let me talk about attending a session like this. When you're attending a session like this, plan to make decisions in, don't just listen and feel excited. Don't just listen and
Yes.
just, how do I say it? Just be excited that Joybert is talking to you. Just be excited that you are here, right? But to a speaker, or you're in a meeting, or you're in a training somewhere, always learn to do 3 things. Number one, what do I stop doing because of what I have learned today? Number two, what do I need to start doing because of what I have learned? Number three, what do I need to amplify because of what I learned today? Okay, good. So as I begin to outline these elements that they are critical for your success, begin to ask yourself, based on what Joybert is saying, what do I need to start doing so I can succeed and stay sustainable? What do I need to stop doing? There are many people not successful. They are doing the wrong things and they want success. You need to stop doing certain things, right? And the third thing is, many of you are already doing amazing things, but you need to scale what you are doing so you can be able to produce better results, right? So the first elements that I will encourage us to continue to do or to start doing is learn how to identify and focus on high leverage activities. Learn how to identify, focus on high leverage activities. Now, what are high leverage activities? Any activity if you spend time doing, if you invest your time to do, they are going to enable you create maximum results. For example, trying to build a business, spending time to watch movies for 4 hours is not a high leverage activity, because there's nothing that watching a movie for 4 hours is going to, impact your business. Now, your business, and you spend 2 hours a day on Canva learning how to design that you can market your business. That is a high leverage activity. So if you are going to build a thriving business, if you're going to build an incredible career, you need to identify this season, this week, this month, and activities work on seasons, right? For example, this in the second part of the year, there are many January and June, they have not achieved anything that makes sense, but they have been busy. Busybody is productivity. And there is no way that you are going to achieve something great when you are busy without really producing results. So the best way that you can produce results is for you to look at how can you retailor your daily lifestyle and focus average activity. What are those things that if I begin to embark upon, if I begin to do them consistently, I am going to experience the highest level of achievement? And identification. If you don't know your high leverage activities, you will not know what to focus. And it depends on what season you are in your life. It depends on what you focus on that season. It depends on your goals for that season, right? Let me say, in a business right now, and you're struggling to make money. Maybe marketing and should be your top high leverage activities. Or for example, if you are a job seeker right now and you're awesome. All right, let's proceed. So the first point I was talking about is learn how to identify and focus on high leverage activities. Number 2 is learn how to navigate new horizons to succeed. Learn how to navigate horizons so you can succeed. It is possible to remain stuck in one place for so long because you are very comfortable and you don't want to try new horizons. You don't want to try new things, right? And if you are going to achieve anything incredible in your life, you're going to achieve anything that will challenge you, one of the most important principles in the justice is your ability to identify a new horizon, a place or something you have never done before, and push yourself to navigate that new horizon. Because incredible things do not happen in your comfort zone. Incredible things do not happen with what you know. You see, for example, I was just saying, for example, I've had the privilege to travel several countries, 4 continents, and pretty having this session from the West. And many of the opportunities I have had in different countries and different business leaders and so on did not come from the place of comfort zone. Did not come from the place where I am just comfortable and waiting for things to happen. No. The people that are going to disrupt their lives and achieve something that makes sense, something that can give them some level of fulfillment, something that can position them to create that significant impact for other people, are people who can leave their own and navigate new horizons, right? And this navigation of new horizons talks about many things. Number 1, it could be you pushing yourself into a new geographical frontier. Let me give an example. There are many people that grew up when they were born in a particular, grew up in that town, went to school in that town, got a job in that town, and they have never left their town where they are based. Now, nothing wrong, but there's some level of comfort you're going to have. You're going to have limited mindset, limited exposure, limited experience, limited information. A lot of things about you will be limited. And one way you can decide to navigate could be, you know what? I want to take a weekend and travel to a city I have never been to. Let me just see how people there think, what they do, how they do things, how they do business there, here, and there. When you begin to do that, you begin to see new potentials, new capabilities, and new things that you can do, right? It's the same. Navigating a new horizon could be learning something new. I don't know about maybe many of you, you're learning how to use Canva and design flyers. That is you practicing navigating new horizons, because you have not been doing that before. And when you saw the advert and the flyer, like, you know what, let me give it a try and learn something new. Let me push myself and do something new. Maybe you're listening to me and let's say you're a teacher, you're a history teacher, you know nothing about digital platforms or technology, but you saw this and said, you know what, let me try it out. Let me just visit this platform, see what they do, and let me see if it can fit me, it can help me in any way. That is you navigating new horizons. And one powerful thing about navigating new horizons is that it opens you up to new opportunities. It opens you up to new people. It opens you up to things that you will discover about yourself that maybe if you start doing, it is going to advance your life to the next level. So I want to encourage you, have the spirit, have the intentionality of navigating new horizons so you can succeed, because incredible success will never happen in your comfort zone. Incredible success will never happen with the level of knowledge you have right now, with the level of skills you have, with the level of exposure you have right now. And the only way that you can beat all of these limitations and scale the wall is for you to push yourself to navigate new horizons. Go to new places, try new things, learn new skills, new technological platforms, whatever you can do, but refuse to couple. The third element I want to talk about is have the will to win. Have the will, have the strong will to win. Now, this is very important. And of course, to me, this is one of the most important things that we need to embody and have enough. You know, we come from a very difficult continent where there's a lot of challenges, bad leadership, political instability. Want to do something little, taxation comes and harass you, bribery and corruption. It's as if when you want one step of success, 10 negative things happen to you, right? So if you don't have the strong will to win, if you don't make that, look, no matter what life throws at me, no matter what the environment throws at me, I will still win. When I'm mentoring young entrepreneurs or people that are thinking of starting the path of entrepreneurship, the path of creating impact, of being leaders, I always tell them, I always give them a warning. If you are going to succeed this path, you need to make up mind for one thing. You need to make up your mind for one thing. And here's the one thing I tell them. Make up your mind that this journey that you want to take, in this journey of success, in this journey of significance, in this journey of impact on leadership and entrepreneurship, make up your mind for one thing. Make up your mind that everything in this life is permitted to happen to you. Make up your mind for everything can happen to you. But one thing should not happen to you. You should not give up. Everything can happen. They can steal from you. You can have accidents and come out alive. You can lose all your money to thief, to scammer. Everything, things are going to happen to you. Make up your mind that All these things can happen, but you will not give up. Have the strong will to win, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situation, no matter the challenge, no matter what is happening around you. Your mindset is you are going to win, right? Like some people are not here because some people are on and off because of poor internet. Those are challenges. Some people don't even have money to buy the mobile data to get online and follow the station. Those are challenges. So these things are, but despite all, hey, have in your mind that, look, I'm going to win. I have to win. I don't care. I don't care what is going to happen, but I'm going to win. As simple as that. You go through pain, you walk under the sun, you're going to walk under the rain, you will lack food, you will water, things are going to happen to you, but you are going to win. Have the will to win. The fourth thing I want to talk about, then I talk about the fifth one I will round up, is create what I like to call a personalized path to fulfillment. Create a personalized path to is not going to hand success to you. Even your family, many of us from Africa are from what they call humble beginnings. Many of us are from the middle class and lower class. Very few Africans are from the upper class. We know those people, I like to call it birth lottery. You are born in a family whereby the combined income of your parents is like 10 million francs every month. That's lottery, right? I call it birth lottery. You are born into affluence. You are born into influence. You are born into financial success. You are born into family stability. So you have just won a lot, yes, man. Right? And very few people, very few young men and women are born in families like that across Africa. Right? So when you're born in that kind of family, when it comes to education, you're not going to struggle. When it comes to opportunities, you will not struggle. When it comes to capital to start a business, you will not struggle. When it comes to recommendations, you will not struggle. Many things you are not going to struggle because you are born into it. Now, when you're born into a middle class, middle class, I like to describe this kind of family that, they are always, sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't have it, but they're okay. Right? So that kind of middle class kind of stuff. Then there's a lower class, the poor people who are just hand to mouth, barely surviving, but they're trying to live life. Now, when you're born in that kind of a family, the things that I encourage you to do is create a personalized to success. Create a personalized path to see a path when you have in mind that nobody's coming to help. Guys who are born into rich families know that their dad and mom is there, their uncles are there, their friends or their family is there, right? But when you're born into a family whereby the greatest help you have ever seen is a poor dad, a poor mom, you need to make up your mind that, look, nobody's coming to help you. Let me give you a typical example. I was trying to summarize a part of my story. I was born out of wedlock, so it means I don't know my dad, to a single mom who was basically a farmer, right? And I could barely go, like many young people in Africa, you could barely go to school, being away for school fees, have all the textbooks and all of that. I went through all of that nonsense. And when I was in high school, I already knew that I would not go to university because my mom could not afford the school fees, right? So I started even taking care of myself in high school. Started working for money, working in building construction sites, working in car wash and all of that to get some money for myself, take care of myself. Because my mom could do was pay my school fees, pay my uniform, and maybe take care of house rent in high school. So the rest was how to survive. I knew that while leaving high school, it was already certain that I cannot go to the university. She could not afford it. Right? Now, then I started books already, 2007, 8. I started reading books already. So when I read the book and I came across something called a life plan. So I decided to write a life plan, which is what I'm calling a personalized path to success. I wrote a life plan in 2009 or so. And that life plan, I gave dates of the things I was going to achieve. I said in 2012, I will get my first degree. In 2017, I will get my MBA. By 2021, I will get my doctorate degree. That was my plan. And this I think I wrote down in 2010 or so. Now, that was a personalized path to fulfillment, to success. And I was writing that not depending on anybody, I was depending on me. That's why if you look at the gap between getting 2012 and getting MBA in 2017, that gap there is because I was sponsoring myself. So it took me to work the money to save and pay for my school fees, right? So when I did that, a personalized path to fulfillment, you start doing things on purpose. Everything I ever did that time in my life was based on how do I get myself through school. Because I knew that I've always believed that the fastest way out of poverty for me is education. That used to be my belief. Because I had to look at, I looked at stuff. I said, okay, you know what? How can you beat poverty? How can you beat poverty out of your life, out of your family? It's okay, education is the way out. That's why, right? So I started doing all of that. There is no odd job I have not done. That's a none. There's no, seen a bit of success, right? I've traveled 20 something countries. I've been with ministers and presidents. Amount of success I can make start. I know what it means to be broke and what to be at the top, right? So there's no odd job I've not done. The only, as far as it's legal, yes, I will do it. I think I've done, what they call building, giving materials and bricks and doing decking and carrying sand and cement. The day after 6 hours, they pay you 3,000 francs, $5 of payment. Life is crazy. Now there are some things that there are some places I cannot speak for 1 hour. If you don't give me 2 million, I cannot speak in certain places for 1 hour. That's your problem. But that's the same 6 hours. I'll get $3,000, 3,000 francs, right? So, and there's a training I have on the difference between the Joybert 10 years ago and the Joybert today, because years ago used to be like maybe 200 francs. 1 hour is almost several thousand of dollars. That's the difference. What's the difference, right? You need to look about that, because if you don't can value your time and be valuable with your time, you always be struggling. So, but what I'm trying to, I had a plan for myself. I had a plan of how I'm going to go to where I want to go, and that plan was based on the things I'm going to do. How am I going to do to pay my first degree school fees here and all of that? So, car wash, construction, I work in bakery, the people that package bread in the morning, 2 a.m. bread, so that by 5 a.m. they start delivering to stores. I've done that. I have sold, how do they call this? Beer parlor, right? You start selling beer parlors. So anything, motorboy, been there. Anything that can give me money, I was there. I used to work in a cyber cafe night shift because scammers do that. So the owner did not have to work at night. Come and leave in the morning. I was on cyber cafe night shift, and I was paid. How much was I paid? Was it 5,000 for 1 month? Or anything that you can do to raise money, but that money was going on a particular path. I've done Okada, 1 year and a few months. They call it Okada. Other countries, they have their names, right? So done Okada, carry people, get paid, all of that to school. But it was all to sponsor, having a personalized path to fulfillment. All your actions focus on sponsoring that path. Many poor families middle class families are stranded because there's nothing they're sponsoring. They don't have a path they're sponsoring. So they focus on complete guys. Everybody can complain. And I like to say, it is easier to succeed now than it is ago. It is way easier to succeed. It's easier to succeed now than 20 years, 15 years ago. We have more resources now to succeed. Internet is way bigger, way available. Mobile phones, platforms, many skills that you can learn and monetize. It's way easier. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, if you did not do manual labor, you cannot get money. Now with the smartphone and a Canva here and there, you can start getting paid on a daily basis. You see, so we can make a change and create. The last thing I'll talk about: sell yourself and sell your ideas. Learn how to sell yourself and sell your ideas. Guys, hear me very, very well. If you are good at what you do and nobody knows you, you die a talented poor person. If you have things in your head and you don't know how to sell it to other people to believe you and be part of it and pay for it, you die a talented poor person. Learn how to sell yourself and sell your ideas. There are many ways you can sell yourself and sell your ideas. Number one, communication, public speaking. The only reason I am here, these things I am teaching, they are my ideas. They are my things I have documented, written down, strategies, principles, all of that. And I'm selling them to you through communication, through verbal communication. Learn how to sell your ideas. Number two, it could be through written content. It perfects how you write things. There are many people that they are not good at writing. Their grammar is poor. Their spellings are poor. If you are like that, start reading more. Spend time to learn how you can sell yourself in how you write. How can you sell yourself? Through graphic design, the way you you can use graphics and design stuff, make it appealing, nice and beautiful, and sell yourself. But by all means, find a way to sell yourself and sell your ideas. If you are good at something, that is one thing. But you need to learn how to position where the key stakeholders who can make good use of what you have can begin to see you. Many people are talented, but not many people are successful. The gap is some people don't know how to sell themselves and what they know in a way that people can know that they exist and buy what they are selling. So to avoid the trap of being gifted, of knowing things and being broke, is to master the art of, and communication is at the center of selling. Understanding the needs of people is at the center of selling. Using various resources like videos, flyers, whatever is at the center of selling. Your job is, how can you master anything that can enable you to sell the right way? So if you practice some of these elements, you will be able to thrive consistently in the journey of success. Like I started by saying, anytime you're in a session like this, always do three things. When a speaker is speaking or somebody's training you, focus on what will I start doing based on what I have today. So I'm asking you, based on the things I have shared today, what will you start doing? What will you stop doing because of what you have heard today? And number three, what will you amplify? What will you continue to do that you have been doing so you can succeed faster, right? Because hope is hopeless without action. If you hear all the good things I have said and the things I have shared, they work, right? They work. But if you don't implement them, if you don't practice them, nothing is going to change. So I can take questions now, then in the next minute, and we run up. Any questions for me?
Hello, Doctor. Good afternoon.
Yes. Let me just comment on some key. Mr. Julius shared and what said, Mr. Julius, the good news about this age where we are now is that we are no longer in the age of certificate, now in the age of skills and knowledge acquisition and deployment. It's not just about to have, it's about how broad mind is. It's about how much knowledge and information you acquire. For example, the things I try to do is not because they didn't teach me in school. I learned in school, right? But school has a role that it plays. For example, even primary school and secondary school, it teaches you the most powerful skill in the world, skill of the literacy skills, how to write, process, understand. If you can read and write and speak English, you have capacity to do anything. Let me shock you. I started during master's degree students in business. I have a master's degree. And I traveled in countries when I did not have a master's degree. The internet, I was able, before I had my master's degree, I had completed about 7 different master's degrees from different universities. All these things are online. So you're not just doing things now because you need certificate and be a pro at your game. The goal is to be an expert. The goal is not to have a certificate. Competence. The goal is not to have certificates, right? So with phone in your hand and internet, you can learn anything on the internet. The point is focusing on that. On that. Are we digging deep? When you go to places and speak, very few people come and ask, oh, where did you go to school? Very few people ask me that. Oh, where did you go to school? Can you show me a certificate? Let me go to speak here. No, yes. What they care is the wisdom. You understand? So whether you have advanced, I went to school to doctorate degree because I loved education. Mom instilled in me the love for education, right? That's why I went to. And of course, it's true that certain doors that when you're being called doctor, you have every year they open for you. That should not, before you get there. There are many meetings I used to attend that I was the only person that did not have a doctorate. Everybody else was a doctorate degree. But nonsense. Doctorate degree doesn't mean that you it just means that you craft certain things and you are good at certain things and and some old people will be an eyeglasses set and be a pass mark. The wisdom, application, delivery of knowledge, it is about it's about education. There's difference between school and education. There's academics and there is education. Education is what you get for yourself. And then as a Christian, I talk about revelation. I said there are 3 dimensions of knowledge. The knowledge you get for yourself and one that God gives. So academics, education, and revelation. If you are going to operate at the highest level, you need to learn how to master this. But you see education at the highest level of wisdom. I know many successful people that did not go to academic school, but they are able to acquire knowledge for personal education. They are able to sit, meditate, practice, imagine, write, sing deep, pray, and God reveal new ideas unto them. It's called revelation, right? So to add to what Ampem said, I was talking about is very important. The illiterate of the 21st century who cannot learn or learn and relearn. If you are going to win, you're going to succeed. You're going to move from just being, as you said, from just being a teacher, being and that can inspire and transform others across different countries. To move from just sitting on what you know, teacher, sitting on what you know on Ghana, and begin to unlearn, relearn, and learn some more. Illiterate in this century, the one that cannot say, no, I know nothing, so I need to learn. I need to learn. And the more you know, the more you can process, the more you can make good use of and help others make good, the more you become relevant. I always say something funny. The only thing I travel the world is because of what I read, and nobody gave it to me. I was seeking for it, and I keep seeking it. Till today, I still read at least 4 hours every day. I'm not in exams. I'm not defending any thesis. But worst, I read at least 4 hours every day. Because if I'm going to top of my game, and people are going to keep paying me for solving their problems and companies and all of that, I need to know what they don't know. Simple as that. But it takes hard work, guys. That's the problem. My day starts at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. here. If you wake up at 6 a.m. Look at the way my eyes is shining. But
or even 9 or even 9 a.m.
You stop calling my name.
Right? So also come and say, come and see me and say, I want to be like you, Joybert. I want to be on BBC. I want to be on CNN. Oh, I want to travel.
That's the truth. It's hard work.
You don't see that it happens to you. You need to take it.
I'll take this challenge.
For example, the thing
to be like you.
Okay, it's good. Julius is challenging.
I will be like you.
The things I talk today, you can be more than me.
Yes.
You can be more than because it's as the world is growing, it becomes more easier, right? Many of you are from I'm famous from Accra. I started a village called Kubo, right? I always say that anybody who starts their success in a city, start their journey in a city, can succeed faster than a young man in a village. The truth. Because you have access to more infrastructure, resources than guys in a village. You see?
True.
And when there was no one to talk to me like I'm talking to you. We were seeking for our books for myself. When I started, there was no motivational speaker in my village. So who motivated me? Right? God motivated me. You get the point? So we better. We can do more and produce more. All right? I can get one last question if there's any, and then I'm done. My time is up.
Maybe tendencies. So how then do you overcome anxiety when you want to become a
Two things. Quickly, two things. If you do these two things, there are a couple of other things, but if you start doing these two things, others will come naturally. Two things. And if you start doing these two things from today, for the next 6 months, if you stand in any platform, you'll be able to do it. And I'm wondering, why are you even talking about anxiety when you said you're
Exactly.
Experience teaching. I've never seen a teacher who is afraid. I've not seen a teacher who is afraid to speak. So I don't know where yours is coming from. But two things sponsor anxiety. Anxiety is the consequence of something, right? And if you start doing these two things, you'll be able to overcome anxiety. Number one, preparation. When I start, as I'm talking here, there's no iota of fear that I'm not afraid of anything because I know I'm not going to talk nonsense because I have prepared for it. It's my field. I am an expert. I'm good at it. Many people who fear public speaking fear because they question, what will I say? Will it make sense or will it be nonsense? Will people appreciate it or not? Your job is to prepare. Your job is to grow yourself and become the expert. And that's where the hard work comes in. If I do a presentation for 30 minutes, it takes hours of preparation and even from my years of experience to come and speak for 30 minutes. You see? So start practicing, start working on yourself. Fear is sponsored by something. And one of the major things that sponsors fear and lack of confidence is lack of competence. Anybody who questions their competence will always lack confidence and therefore be afraid and be anxious. So work on your knowledge, work on your skills, work on your expertise. Anxiety will start dying down. Number two, practice. Yes, practice is very important. You don't just wake up and you become a good speaker. You practice. It's a skill. It's called public speaking skill. Anything that is a skill means that you need to learn it. Please Being fluent is not public speaking. Like you, Antem, you are very fluent. You already have the natural gifting of being. I am not fluent. I have to train myself to be fluent. There are many people that were as cameras. There are many people that talk very fast. You see? So, but some people that they're naturally very fluent. Very fluent. Now that is a plus. Like you already have a plus one. Now you need now to practice you the skill. How can you practice? Example. From today, take your phone and put on selfie camera and record yourself for 5 minutes talking about any topic of your choice. Do like that for the next 30 days. On the 30th day, you'll be amazed at how you have grown in public speaking. Number 2, start practicing on the stand on the floor and imagine that 100 people are sitting in front of you and speak for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you like, call your family members. Say, you guys sit, let me train you. See, it's better to make mistakes in front of your family members than to make mistakes in public. You understand? So you start doing these two things.
Right.
Grow your knowledge, grow your competence, do practice, give yourself 30 days and check yourself grown in public speaking. All right.